Long time no review, all you beautiful people in Webtown. It is good to have you back here, and I'm excited to talk all week long about Malibu Comics. Specifically, I'm going to talk about the Ultraverse. This is the Ultraverse. Now, I have reviewed Solitaire issue 1, Solitaire issues 2, 3, and 4 in previous videos, so you may want to go back and watch those. Because what I want to do today is just kind of cover the whole run. I enjoyed this comic book so much that I went out, I bought the entire run, all 12 issues, and it did not disappoint. I will say, it did not disappoint. One thing in particular I want to point out that is very cool, this is written by Gerard Jones, it is drawn by Jeff Johnson, and I love Jeff Johnson's artwork. He has enough of a realistic view that it makes the very gritty, dark world that is painted here by Gerard Jones. This takes place in Los Angeles, California. It's very dark, it's very gritty, and Jeff Johnson's artwork really lends itself well to the story that's told in these issues. And like I said, go back and watch the previous reviews of this. Something happened halfway through this series that did disappoint me a little bit. They did change the artist, and I will talk about that. But first, what I want to point out is something that is just like super, super cool. So, issue number 5 ends right here. This is a really cool gimmick. Issue number 5 ends right here with him on top of this building right here. Now, issue number 6, let's get it out here. Issue number 6 starts with a fight right here between Jin and Solitaire. Now, for those of you who don't know, the story is of Nicholas Long. Nicholas Long is Solitaire. His father is, not Long, Nicholas Lone. His father is Anton Lone. Anton Lone is a criminal lord in Los Angeles. Nicholas is a disenchanted youth who can't believe his father's criminal activities, which include drug running, include murder, include trying to get his hands on a nuclear friggin' weapon. Believe it or not, yes. Very nefarious daddy young Nicholas Lone has. Now, Anton Lone, the father, he has a man named Jin, who is his personal bodyguard, and Jin's a pretty badass dude. So, what I want to point out, though, is, okay, so check this out, right? Like, right here, we see Solitaire and Jin going at it in the middle of the street. Kind of reflected right here. But what they did was they bridged the gap between the last page of issue 5 and the first page of issue 6 with the covers to the first 6 issues. So pay attention. Very close, okay? Remember this scene. Remember this. Keep this in your mind, okay? He's on top of that building. He is on top of that building. He jumps off the building. He lands. He shoots. Boom, 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 boom. He jumps on top of a car and runs as these guys are trying to kill him. Boom, 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 boom. He attacks this cop on a motorcycle. He steals the friggin' motorcycle. Jin jumps him on the motorcycle. And boom, you are into issue 6, right like that. And I thought that was a pretty clever little gimmick that they did. And I don't think that anybody knew about it other than people that read this book, which was probably not a lot of people, which is probably why they switched it from an ongoing series to being a 12-issue maxi series. The story in these first 6 issues is excellent. Issue 6 culminates with Solitaire confronting his father, even though his father doesn't find out who he is until later. He basically confronts him to try to stop him from setting off this nuclear weapon. Very good story. And then they kind of get into some more standard comic book fare here with issue 7, which, this is where Jeff Johnson just starts doing the layouts and Jeff Parker takes over with the art. And I like Jeff Parker's art, but it does not lend itself. It's too comic booky for this story. Gerard Jones' writing is darker than you would find in a lot of comic books that are for kids. And this cartoonish sort of style of art just does not lend itself well to the story. And it's a shame that Jeff Johnson left this book for whatever reason, more money probably, and that it was taken over by Jeff Jones. There's a lot of Jeffs working on these books. Issue number 7, issue number 8, pretty forgettable. Issue number 9 was excellent. This was very dark, disturbing story. I liked it so much that I'm going to take this story and I'm going to turn it into something even darker, even grittier, even scarier, even more frightening, bizarre, perverse. And I'm going to put it out as a graphic novel with an entirely different character. But the elements in this book, man, this was as good as issue number 1. Issue number 9 was as good as issue number 1. And that is saying something, because this is one of the best comic books I read in 2018, actually, was Solitaire number 1. Issue number 10 looks like it's going to be awesome, but really it's not. It's part of the Hostile Takeover crossover. And just nothing much happened in this other than a big surprise at the ending when when Nicholas shows back up at a party that his father is hosting to decide that he's going to work for his daddy again. So he does the heel turn right there. Maybe. I don't want to give away too much. You should check it out. The story's good. The story's solid. Even if you do kind of have to wade your way through 7 and 8 to get to the end of this. And then, of course, 11 and 12 culminate the series where Solitaire and his father, Anton, finally have it out on a rooftop to see who will be the lone survivor. Get it? Because he's Anton Lone, Nicholas Lone, lone survivor. Anyway, this is a good series, man, and you're going to be able to pick it up for under $20, like right around $20 on mycomicshop.com. Worth it. So I just wanted to highlight that briefly today. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about a totally different Ultraverse comic book called Mantra. And then at the end of this whole week-long series on Malibu in the Ultraverse, I'm going to come back to Solitaire because there is a double feature flip book that they did with Solitaire and Prime. And the Solitaire story was so good that we're just going to read it here because it was weird, man. But nonetheless, Solitaire is an excellent book. Check it out. I think you're going to enjoy it. And as always, stick around here at Crypto Comics as we grind back to life with some comic book reviews.